Hi everybody and good evening because it's 2026 28th from January and it's the evening already. I was outside for the day, so this is the wrap for the day. The news I caught in my feed that should get noticed by you. Initial access hackers switched to Thunderbot for ransomware attack. That's an interesting take. Basically, the researcher found that the malware can be used for information gathering and data exfiltration, but also lateral movement and installing additional payload. They did identify that this is used to deploy ransomware encryption, so something to watch if you want the actual indicator of compromise and more information. You can go in the article, which will be linked in the description. An interesting news: OPNsense. It's the firewall, open source firewall. I use the PFSense, which is not the fully open source firewall. And if you want one, you can use OPNsense. The version 26.1 have been updated, and it brings a lot of update. It seems very interesting. Actually, something on my to-do list for later, because this one, aside of all the change and the automation that come with it, allow the integration of threat intelligence and asset visibility. I think it's a great thing. So you can put optional Q feed to get detection and active information about basically block list with IP and other signatures, allowing you to deter and block the attackers from reaching your network. So for a free open source solution, I think it's a nice thing to have. So yeah, and more about the intrusion detection and prevention system, and more on this. I will link the article as well. It's a free download, free open source. It's worth looking at it because most of the home router and firewalls provided by the ISP do not bring like real security or safe stuff. They sell some overlay, but it's not like all the best. Interesting stat and an obvious one. Consumers are reluctant to shop at stores that do not take security seriously. I don't know about you, but I kind of keep the names of the brand that got breached and didn't care, or just like didn't do anything. One of the key one, because I see that a lot in the sports stuff, like people take the Under Armour brand, and in my mind it's a no-go because they've been breached so many times and leaking the customer information. I don't know, like it's right in my brain. When I see the brand, I just it's nice clothes and stuff, but it remains like the one of the company that did leak the customer data, so I don't like it. And I'm not alone, because consumer seems to keep that in mind as well. So it's something to keep in mind. Doing the security right is a really big game at brand protection and consumer loyalty. If you want the customer to stay working with your brand, you better do things right. And if something wrong happen, be transparent about it, because otherwise it will stick in the head like the brand who did betray them. And that's something to keep a look at and stay aware of it, especially if you manage the security for a brand. Another one that's quite funny, fake Molbot AI coding assistant. So, everybody's rushing about vibe coding, AI assistant, typing stuff. Well, that one is on the marketplace. And if they use it, it's actually dropping malware into the code. So that's really, really, it's funny in a way. It's software supply chain poisoning with malware through AI assistant. So straight in the end of the developer. So be aware on what you rely on, because this thing can actually write some bad stuff, and you have to understand what you are doing to understand what's happening. It adds dependencies to third-party stuff, and I will let you read the detail. It's quite interesting. So again, it's a reminder that if you develop solution, you need a good oversight. You need to know what you do, understand the code that is generated. And finally, for people using the N8N automation platform, it's the solution that use AI to use automation in your workflow and stuff like that, with the MCP protocol. There is a new sandbox escape flow that allow a remote code execution. So that means that if someone get the end of any kind of input that go in your N8N instance, it can be abused to run anything the attacker wants. So it has to be checked and eventually patched. It's a high security vulnerability score 99 out of 10. So this is fairly bad, identified by JFrog. I will let you dig into that. But if you use N8N, it's happening quite a lot lately, so something to keep in mind. That's all for today, what I got in my news feed. I hope it's bringing value to you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, helping the channel to grow and staying aware of the news. You don't have to watch all of it, but I think it brings value. You know, it's like a threat intelligence in a wrap in a couple of minutes. So I'm trying to make a format that is actually worth your time. So that's it. Have a great day and see you probably tomorrow. Bye bye. We're going to stop that.